So, welcome to week 5 in a 12-week half marathon training vlog. So coming up later, I'll be bringing you up to date on my half marathon training. And if you missed last week's video, why did you miss last week's video? I had, unfortunately, a tumble in the woods, and that has affected my training somewhat. However, you will see from my general attire here that I am going out for a run. So spoiler alert, I am running. In fact, I have made the conscious decision that I am going to be on that start line for the half marathon event, even if I'm lying on a stretcher. I am determined to get there. This is not going to put me back. So I'll talk a little bit more about all of that later. So I want to start off this week by talking about a charity that I'm fundraising for when I take the half marathon route that's on that stretcher in October. Now I know people hear the word charity and then they switch off. Please don't switch off. I know that times are hard. I mean, let's face it, a tin of baked beans in the supermarket, what is it now? 85 quid, something like that. So I realise not everyone is going to be able to donate to this cause. And trust me, if you don't, you won't be off my Christmas card list. I still love you. So, but if you can spare just a couple of quid, then it's an amazing charity. Now, the best thing I can do, I think, before I talk about why I'm supporting them, is to play you a little video. It's only about a minute long, so don't go away. Do watch it, and it explains what the charity is and what they do.
We train dogs to alert deaf people to important and life-saving sounds. Sounds that many people take for granted, like the doorbell, alarm clock, and even danger signals like the fire alarm. Deafness can be a very isolating disability. A hearing dog can give a deaf person a newfound sense of independence and confidence now they have a loyal companion and a true friend by their side. We have matched thousands of our adorable dogs with these deaf people. We are so passionate about training these amazing animals. We can only help deaf people thanks to our loyal supporters who give money, time and effort to help us create incredible hearing dogs.
So why hearing dogs then? Well, it sort of combines some things that were of great interest to me. First of all, deafness and hearing loss. You'll know, if you've been watching the channel for a while, that I've been learning BSL, British Sign Language. Really enjoying that. Currently, at the time of filming, still waiting for my exam results for level 2. And I have a very small hearing issue, particularly in big rooms, big crowded spaces, and lots of people suffer from that. But for me, it's sort of perhaps just up a little notch. And I kind of know what it's like to just try and avoid those situations. Actually, it's getting a little bit worse as I get older, but it's not a patch on what a lot of people have to deal with. If you have a profound hearing loss, it can be quite isolating actually. So that's one of the reasons. The other one is dog ownership. I own a couple of dogs myself, English Cocker Spaniels, and I know from first-hand experience just how wonderful it can be to have a dog in your life. Just how it lifts your spirits every day actually, and you can build an incredible bond, especially if you do training. We do all sorts of training with that, and it's wonderful. And of course that's exactly what hearing dogs do, but to a really unbelievably high standard. They take the dogs and they train them to just be incredible partners, as you saw in that video. But above all else, hearing dogs give deaf people and people who are hard of hearing who get a deaf assistance dog, it breaks the loneliness really. It gets them out and about, and I know countless examples where that has happened, and it's amazing. Just such an amazingly positive thing, such a worthwhile thing, changing lives in an unbelievable way. So if you can spare a few pennies, then the fundraising page is linked in the video description below, and I'd really be grateful for any donation, however small. Thank you. There we are, run complete. I'm going to put the times up on the screen. Why not? And I did 4 miles today. And you might think, why have I put the times up on the screen and why haven't I put up my week 5 schedule with a fapa on it? And the reason for that is that, yeah, last week, did you see it? I had a tumble in the woods and I went down like a proverbial sack of spuds, and I sort of was bruised and grazed and all the rest of it. And it was my leg that actually prevented me from going out for week 4 run 3, the final run of the week, because a very big yellow bruise came up on my leg and I was not walking, you know, true, if you like. And it was caused by this thing I'm holding in my left hand, the camera, because I had it in my pocket and I landed on it. So that hurt a bit. And actually the leg got better very quickly, because each day, so this happened on Friday, Saturday, yeah, still sore, but I could feel it wasn't as bad as Friday, and so on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Today is actually Thursday, so it's 6 days since I last went out. I gave it a good rest. I didn't want to go out and just suddenly pick up another injury because I was running awkward or whatever. So today was a bit of an experiment. I thought I was only going to perhaps do a couple of miles just to see how I got on, but I've ended up doing 4, and it felt fine. Got a little bit out of breath, especially as I was filming that last segment when I was running. You might have been able to tell, but that's to be expected because I just haven't been out all week. So there we are. So that's good. On the not so good front, my arm, I fell over, and that's where I kind of took, I suppose, a lot of force of the fall, and that has been quite painful. I'm on some antibiotic cream for that. It looks like something out of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It really looks horrible, and it is taking a bit of time to heal, and I wondered what it would feel like when I was running. I'm putting a dressing on overnight, and I've left that on while I've come out for my run this morning, and yeah, I don't know, I just don't think it would have been the right thing to do to kind of take it off, but I will take it off and put some of that cream on when I get home. Yeah, it's I've kind of learned a few things, I suppose, from last week's fall. The first thing is that in my running bag I'm going to be putting, and I didn't do it this morning, I forgot, some little individually wrapped antiseptic wipes, which the lady who was a runner in the pharmacy suggested that I take with me. And perhaps if I'd kind of been able to rub myself down straight away when I injured myself, perhaps it wouldn't have got infected. In fact, it probably wouldn't have done. I mean, I did go home and wash it, but I mean, you know, it took me, well, actually I finished the run, didn't I, if you watched the video, like some sort of crazy fool, and then I went home and then kind of washed it, and I don't know, maybe there's a bit of grit got left in there, I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. But if you watch this channel for a while, you'll know I missed the glass half full. It could have been a lot worse, couldn't it? I mean, I could have twisted my ankle, I could have broken my arm, or worse still, I could have broken my stupidly expensive stainless steel Apple Watch. Now that would have been a disaster, but I didn't break anything. Everything was intact, just a little few cuts and bruises, dented pride. And here I am now, less than a week later, and I'm back out running again, and I will be on that start line in October. I've just got to be a bit careful. Will I go down that same route in the woods again? What do you think? So it is 3 days later, and as you can see, I'm out for a run. That's a good sign. And I'm going to bring you up to date on what's been happening. The leg is fine. Yeah, you can still see it bruised, but you know, I'm running, so that is the main thing. The arm, on the other hand, didn't really get any better after I shot the last video. In fact, it's been getting a bit worse. So I decided to get a bit of advice from NHS 111. Now, if you're in the UK, you will know what that is, but if you're not, you might think, why am I randomly shouting letters and numbers at you? Well, the NHS is the National Health Service. It is free healthcare for you if you live in the UK, and at the point of delivery, and it's a wonderful thing. We're very lucky to have it here. Doesn't matter who you are, rich or poor, you can get medical treatment. So I have an emergency number, which here in the UK, 999. So they came up, the boffins at the NHS, with a non-emergency number, which is 111. So you can phone that, or this being the 21st century, you can go on the NHS 111 website. So that's what I did. You can kind of diagnose the symptoms that you have, and it will give you some advice on what to do. Or, as was my case, it'll arrange for a health professional to get in contact with you. So, about 3 hours it was after I filled in the form, a nurse phoned me. Brilliant. And we had a chat, and she had access to my medical records, and she could see what my arm looked like, because when I got the cream that I talked about in the last video, which is an antibiotic cream, I'd uploaded a picture to my doctor, and she had a telephone consultation and she prescribed that. So the nurse was able to look at this photo, got me to upload an up-to-date one, so I took it while I was on the phone to her, and then she was able to compare, and she said, yep, that doesn't look very nice. So she prescribed some antibiotics, some oral antibiotics, which I was able to go down to the pharmacy straight after the call and collect. And she also made an appointment for me at the Victoria Hospital in Wimborne for the next day at their minor injuries clinic. So I went down there and they were able to have a look, and they've put a bandage on with some silver, because apparently that will help to draw out the foreign bodies, the impurities that have obviously got in there and made it really nasty. So I had to keep it on for a couple of days, so it's on there at the moment, and I will take it off after this run and see how it is. I've got some more silver she gave me to use, and if I need to, I can put that on with the bandage, with the new bandage, and then I've got to kind of do that every 2 days, replace the bandage and the silver until it's starting to look much better. So at least I have a way forward. There we are, run complete. And let's stick the times up on the screen. I think it's 10k, because I did 6 miles and then I kept going. 6.1 I did, and I think that's 10k. So yeah, that's right. It was slow, but I have to say I got to about the 4th mile, and my leg that I said, oh yeah, that's fine, was starting to just hurt just a little bit, but I mean, it is still bruised, so that's bound to happen, but I'm not worried about it. I just went on through it and it was fine. It wasn't enough for me to even contemplate stopping, so that's good. On my way back home now, shower, see what the arm's doing, but I really enjoyed that. That was great. Yeah, week 5 has been a bit of a non-event in terms of the training, but actually no, it hasn't been a non-event, has it? Glass half full, everyone. It's we haven't had any weird RPEs, and thanks I've had some great suggestions for what that could stand for. It's brilliant, much better than mine. And yeah, you know, but at least I have actually got 2 runs in, so I can't complain. It is, this say, first afternoon run for a long time, and yeah, it is warm. The sun, it had been cloudy earlier, and yeah, the sun decided to come out, and this time of year it's quite strong, isn't it? So yeah, but a friend of mine, he said to me, actually, this was when I posted about my injury on Twitter, a friend of mine said, well, if it's not hurting running, then you're not doing it right. It was a tongue-in-cheek comment, of course, but that made me laugh. So yeah, today it was hurting a bit, but so I must be doing it right. So there we are. Anyway, that's quite enough waffle for me for this week. It's been a weird week, that's for sure. Next week my plan is to get right back onto week 6 and to see what I can kind of do with that, but I'm hoping that this hasn't been too much of a dent in proceedings. I will be on that start line. I hope you don't mind me talking about a charity earlier. The link to my Just Giving page, where I'm raising money for hearing dogs, is down in the video description below, and if you can spare a couple of quid, I'd be so grateful, and so would the charity, so thank you very much. Anyway, see you for another update next week. Don't forget, if you are new here, to subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed all this waffle, and leave your comments, because I love to read them. See you next week. Free falling. Don't have to be afraid, oh no. See, I'd rather fall, and you don't have to worry about me, 'cause I'm gonna live free.